Welcome. Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga Yin Asana. I am Grace. This is week one of our yoga teacher training, and we are going to be focusing today on seated pose Sukhasana, as well as we're going to work on a little bit of relaxation breath, some of the real basics, maybe the Mula Bandha even, if we can, and just a gentle yin practice. Yin is more of a restorative practice where we're not putting forth a lot of effort, but we are stretching and we're going to be fully present in the body. So this week we're moving through the 8 limbs of yoga. We're going to be moving with the yamas and the niyamas a little bit later. That's the first and second of the 8 limbs. But the third is asana. And asana is the physical body. And it's often thought of in yoga that asana is yoga, the poses, the postures. But yoga, and when we introduce ecstatic yoga, this is whole harmonious yoga. Philosophy, Kriya, the pranayama meditation, these things came thousands of years before the asana practices. And so we're going to be focusing today on asana, getting really clear about what that is, the physical body, the postures, the poses, because this is the doorway. It's the doorway in to moving into more subtle. So then we move into the pranayama, and then pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, and samadhi. So we're moving into more and more subtle levels of refinement. And this is yoga. Yoga is to yoke, to bring all aspects of ourselves together, and we have to refine our energy. It has to become more subtle for it to connect and become one with the spiritual realm of what we are. We are cosmic consciousness. We are this infinite, eternal consciousness animating through this body for a blink of an eye, this physical DNA, and we're learning, we're growing, our consciousness is growing, but our true identity is this invisible, spiritual, cosmic being that we all are, that is animating through this body. And the only way to animate through and to evolve through the body is to refine it, to become more subtle. And so we work first with the body, that is our doorway, and then we'll move through the 8 limbs as we go. So Sukhasana is a seated pose, and so we have a little cushion here. We have these two what's called sits bones, and that is actually their names, sits bones, and you can feel them when you're sitting down. They're right on your buttocks. And you can take a cushion if you want, if it helps, and you can put it underneath those sits bones, kind of in the posterior part of your buttocks. And it can bring the pelvis, the hips, it can bring them more level with your body, a little more level. And it allows people to feel a little more comfortable and to be able to sit a little bit longer. It's not necessary to put a cushion, but you can if you want. Noticing my shoulders are a little off, huh? Sukhasana, easy pose, is one of the most comfortable poses and easy poses to sit while we're in a meditation or just talking or doing breath work. But there's a few different ways you can do it. You can have your legs cross-legged, and of course you can cross them both ways. You can move into a half lotus where you bring a foot up. You can move into full lotus, but I'm not very good at that, where you bring both feet together and you're in a nice full lotus pose like this. Another option for easy pose is another option for a sitting pose is hero pose. And you can come up onto your knees. You can put a block underneath, and we'll go into that a little further. You can take those feet out from underneath you and snuggle in like the kids do at school. You'll see them all often sitting like this. So there's a few options for sitting. This is Sukhasana, a nice easy pose, cross feet are cross-legged. And we're going to begin our practice with a little centering. Just centering our body, centering our mind, centering our spirit, and creating an intention. And this opportunity to create intention in our practices is use this opportunity to create a mental rehearsal for things that you want to intend and create and manifest in your life. So let's take a moment now to sit comfortably, feel those sits bones connected to the earth, feel the earth underneath you, and begin to just be aware of your breath. We're not changing the breath. We're not manipulating it. We're just simple breath awareness. And as you go into your breath awareness, you may notice it slows down a little bit naturally. So, observing the breath observation, mindful breathing, it's been called. Noticing your natural rhythm, noticing what it feels like to breathe in your body. And then take this moment now, we're going to drop that breath down to the lower abdomen. We're going to move into belly breath. So just start with mindful breathing. I like to drop it down to the belly because as you breathe into this lower abdomen, this is the way we naturally, the most helpful, natural way. This is the way babies breathe before they get traumatized by human life. And this, when we breathe into this lower belly, abdominal breathing, belly breathing, it triggers our parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. So as we breathe down here, we're actually triggering that relaxation response in our body. When we're breathing up in our chest here, we're triggering the sympathetic, the fight or flight. And that will trigger the stress hormones, cortisol, which is the number one cause of diseases. So we want to drop it down and trigger that parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to trigger that hormone of serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone. And that will be running through our body as we heal and restore. So take a moment to close your eyes. So put your hand right here on your lower abdomen and feel this belly abdominal breathing. Same rhythm as you had before, your natural rhythm. We're just dropping it down to the belly. I'm going to move now into the 3-part yogic breath. So we're going to inhale into the belly, and then like a wave into the ribs, and up into the chest and the clavicular area. Filling the whole front body with prana and breath and energy. Pause just a moment and then exhale releasing the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And a couple more 3-part yogic breaths. Inhaling through the belly. A nice smooth wave, the ribs and the chest. Pause a moment and exhaling down, releasing the chest, the ribs, the belly. Let's do 2 more on your own at your own pace. Fully aware of the breath, all your attention focused on this deep breath, 3-part yogic breath. Durga Pranayama. And then letting the breath return to normal, its natural flow. But we're going to maintain that breath down in this belly. Throughout the practice, and remember to keep dropping the breath down to the belly. I invite you, if you don't have any, bring some water. It's always nice to have a little bit of water available if you need it. And we're going to take a moment now to sit. We're going to continue to breathe into this lower belly and mentally scan the body from the top of the head down, slowly moving through the face, the back of the head, front of the neck, the back of the neck, and scanning all the way down the entire body on your own, just noticing where you're at, physically and energetically and emotionally in your body today. No judgment, no right or wrong, good or bad, just noticing where you're at right now. And if you're able to dive inward, noticing how you're at inside, just checking in for a moment, being with yourself. Beautiful. Let's take this moment to set an intention for this practice. It could be an intention for this teacher training. It could be an intention for today, for this month. It could be an intention for just this practice, that you feel some peace and some flexibility. Something maybe that you're intending, a new job, a new relationship. And this is Xander. This is the ecstatic yoga kitty cat. You see a lot of him throughout the yoga teacher training. He's always around. He's our ecstatic yoga kitty. And he's Alexander the Great. He's John's cat. I inherited from John. And we call him Xander for short. And he is a sweetheart. So choose that intention and taking a moment to bring that intention into the forefront of your mind and practicing a little mental rehearsal. See yourself in this intention fully manifested, using all the senses, the emotions, to really anchor that in with the mental rehearsal. And then send that intention out to the universe, out to everything, and with a this or better for your intention. Because sometimes we have an intention and we have it in our mind, but the universe may have something even better for us. So we always open up to the unknown and something that may even be better for us. Beautiful job. So let's begin some gentle warm ups. And let's begin with the head. Let's just bring that chin down to the neck. In Yin Yoga, we're going to be moving a little bit slower, feeling the stretches in the back. We're focusing on the physical body today, so we're noticing the physical sensations. And with the Yin practice, we also hold the poses a little longer than normal. We're going to come up, bring that head up, and let's begin some gentle circles with the neck. Nice and gentle. And as you move, noticing the physical sensations. Anytime you might find a spot that's a little tender or you want some more attention, you can stay there and massage that area a little bit. See if you can notice some of the just subtle muscles that you don't feel very often. Continuing to breathe into the belly. So this course is centered around self-love. And with every practice we do, we're doing this as an act of self-love. Love for the individualized self in the body, but also a great love for this cosmic being that we are, this eternal spiritual being, this pure consciousness that is our true eternal identity. The wisdom, the beauty, the grace that dwells within our soul power. And let's go the other direction if you haven't already switched in your circles. And really noticing isolating those little muscles in the neck that you can feel. All is an act of self-love. Keeping that breath flowing, breathing into the belly. Nice deep breaths. And coming back to center. Beautiful. Let's move the shoulders a little bit, just moving them around, back and forth, up and down, wiggle them around, just doing what feels good for you. You can get the body into it a little bit. Just moving the shoulders. You can make circles with the shoulders. Sure to go both directions. And begin to move the torso around a little bit. Noticing what you're feeling in your body as you move. This week is about asana, the postures, the poses, but we're focusing on this physicality, and the sensations in the physical body. And let's make some circles. Keeping that breath flowing. You can have the eyes opened or closed. And again, if you find a spot, feels like it needs a little extra attention, feel free to massage that a little bit, stay there a little longer. Nice, deep, flowing breaths. And let's begin to circle the other way. Just warming the body up a little bit. nice, gentle practice. It's a really nice way to start our Monday. We're on the floor. We're not going to be standing up, so that's a little break that we have, and we're going to be uh, practicing gently, opening the body, and just last little movements with the torso or the head or the shoulders, moving spontaneous a little bit, just noticing, waking up the body, keeping the breath flowing. Beautiful. We're going to move. I'm going to remove my pillow a little bit. We're going to move into a butterfly pose. It's also called round angle sometimes, and the Sanskrit is Baddha Konasana. So you'll hear a lot of Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are together. And you can take the feet and move them at a distance that feels good for you. Kind of find something that's comfortable to sit for a little couple minutes here. You can open up the feet a little bit. Mine kind of naturally open up, so I don't really need to open them up. You can wrap those hands around the feet. And the next inhale, lengthening the spine. Feel that spine lengthen and elongate. See how tall you can get. And then just begin to gently move these legs. And you feel that in your hips. Notice where you're feeling it. Notice all the sensations as we flap our butterfly wings. Gently find a pace that works for you. And one of our lessons this week is going to be on the bandhas. And the bandhas are our energy locks, the energy seals. And so for today, we're just going to focus on the Mula Bandha, which is the pelvic floor. Also, Kegels for women. You probably all know what Kegels are, especially if you've had a child, baby. That's that area. But with the Mula Bandha, we're going to be a little different. We're just going to gently engage it. We're not clenching it like when we do our Kegels. We're just a gentle lift of the pelvic floor and a gentle engagement. It's gentle. It's not a clenching. We want to keep that chakra, that root chakra open, but we want to seal the bandha there. And that sensation, if you're urinating and you stop your urination right in the middle, that is your Mula Bandha that you're using, that you're engaging to stop. So you can feel that pelvic floor. The gentle engagement. So you can engage that now if you want to. It seals the energy so it doesn't leak out as we build the prana. And let's slow those legs down to a stop. If you can bring them any further down to the ground, that's good. Inhaling, lengthening the spine again. And then the exhale, engaging that bandha, and let's hinge forward at the hips. Just hinging at the hips. The spine is not rounding right now. It's just straight. It's not moving. It's just our hips that are moving. See if you can feel yourself fold forward a little bit as you hinge at your hips. And find your edge, a gentle edge. You feel like maybe a 7 where you're not feeling any pain. If you ever feel pain in yoga, always back off. And remember during this practice, at any time you can take a break, you can lay down, you can move into seated pose. Always honor your body. And as we sit in this gentle forward fold, feeling a little those sensations, I feel it in my hips, feel it a little in my knees. Just noticing the sensations, breathe into the belly, and we'll hold this for a few breaths. You might even find after a couple breaths, you might be able to hinge a little bit further and still be on that gentle edge. One more breath. And your next inhale coming up to seated position. Beautiful. Let's release the legs. And I like when I release the legs to flop them around a little bit, and side to side, wiggle them, do what feels good to you to kind of release them. We've been sitting in Sukhasana, Baddha Konasana, just releasing and relaxing those legs. And remember, at any time if you need to relax those legs or release them, just come out and shake them. This is your practice. So we're going to move into a forward fold, another forward fold. Yin Asana is a more inward restorative practice. So we do a little bit more forward folds to bring us in towards the self. So we're going to take, I'm not going to be mirroring you. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take this left leg straight and bring the right leg, bend it and bring it in. And feel the sole of the right foot resting against the inner thigh of the left leg. And then inhale as you lengthen the spine. Feel yourself lengthen and the spine elongate. And then on your neck, on your exhale, hinging forward at the hip. And noticing the sensations in your body. You may notice the posterior back leg muscles stretch a little bit. And hinge forward till you find a gentle edge where you're challenging yourself a little bit. You're feeling some stretch. You're not lazy on the couch eating potato chips. That's for a little later on maybe. But you're not forcing, striving, pushing. We're also not training for the Olympics. So we'll find that gentle, sweet spot, usually like a 7, where you can feel some sensation. You know you're stretching your body a little bit, but we're not forcing and striving. And I like when I get here to just take this foot, the extended foot, and flex and extend it. And notice those sensations in the muscles, in the legs. Beautiful. And then see if you can hinge just a little bit further and deeper in without forcing. When you get to your perfect hinge, then allow the spine to round and bring yourself towards the leg. And you can hold your foot if you can and give it a little massage. I'm just going to rest in this forward fold for a few breaths, allowing your attention and your energy to be drawn inward towards the self. Bringing all that energy, all that focused attention, that love in towards your own beingness. Breathing into the belly and relaxing. Find that peace in just being with yourself. And as we hold poses a little longer, it gives our mind time to slow down and become more quiet, more refined. Being okay with just silent stillness and being with ourselves without distraction. And one more breath here. And your inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. And we're going to switch legs. So we're going to take the right leg out, opposite leg that you just had. We bring the sole of the left leg to gently rest on the inner thigh of the right. Flex and extend that extended foot. Feeling those beautiful sensations, noticing the physical sensations in the body. This week our focus is on asana and self-love. Beautiful. Inhale as you lengthen that spine, elongate the spine. Gently engage that Mula Bandha, and exhale, hinging forward at the hip. So before we round the spine or move the spine at all, we're going to find that gentle edge. And resting on that gentle edge for a couple breaths here, you can continue to flex and extend the foot a little bit. Noticing and enjoying the sensations in the leg and the body. And then see if you can hinge a little bit deeper now after holding that edge for a few breaths. And then find your final hinge and allow the spine to round, bringing the head in towards the leg. And massage that foot. And we're going to relax here and go inward. Give ourselves that much needed break as we bring that energy in towards our own being. Use this opportunity to fill yourself with attention and love and prana. And on the next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. Let's bring those legs out. And again, flop them around, wiggle them around. Release any tension. Beautiful job with the forward fold. And we're going to cross the legs. We're going to come up onto the knees. And we're going to move into a little bit of cat-cow. It'd be easier if I'm on the side here. Cat-cow is a basic pose, and we're going to be in a table position. So my shoulders are underneath my wrists, and the hips are right underneath the knees. And we're going to move into our cow first. So in the cow, we move our back and our spine into extension. So we're going to arch the back, move that spine into extension as we inhale and raise the head. And then as we exhale, we're going to move into flexion. So we're going to tuck that tailbone. We're going to round that back up like a Halloween cat. Drop the head, looking in towards the thighs. And inhaling back into our cow. Exhaling into cat. Flexion of the spine. And continue at your own pace, moving back and forth between cat and cow. Feeling the sensations in the physical body, noticing all those subtle sensations, feeling where your body's connected to the earth, your foundation. Notice the sensations as you move through this posture. Next time you get into your cat pose where your back is rounded, bring those hips back a little bit and feel that nice stretch on the lower back. You can move a little side to side, noticing those physical sensations in your body. Even make circles with your hips. And if you're making circles with the hips, make sure to go both directions. Really basking in those sensations, those physical sensations. And again, if there's a spot that's sore, you can stay there, massage it a little bit. Keeping that breath flowing, that energy moving, the prana flowing. And then coming back to center. And we're going to move into our cow. And then if you have any little movements you want to do with your cow, move those hips a little bit. You can do that. And I just invite you to move into cat-cow at your own pace, at your own flow, making any spontaneous movements along the way. And really noticing and basking in those physical sensations. And keeping the breath as coordinated as possible. You're inhaling into your cow and exhaling in cat. And as you stay in the pose, you can breathe. And then when you transition, let's move back into the breath flow. And allowing yourself to enjoy moving in your body spontaneously, moving in ways that feel good. And a couple more breaths, and we're going to move into child's pose. So finishing up, a couple more breaths, and then when you're ready, just gently moving into a child's pose. And we're going to move into child's pose, and we're going to rest in this child's pose for a few breaths, for several breaths. So as you move into your child's pose, you're going to come down. You can open up those knees a little bit to let the belly rest in between the legs. The arms can be extended out or they can be alongside the body, whatever feels best for you. You can be in front like this as well. You can rest your head on. We're going to take a little while in child's pose. You can have the head straight. Just taking some time. This is Yin Asana, so it's an inward practice, going in, resting in a gentle meditation as you meditate on your own self, your own cosmic soul power and presence, and any sensations that arise in the body or in any aspect of your being. So take this time to bask in your own nectar, your own beingness. Couple more breaths here. Your next inhale, gently and kindly coming up. And we're going to bring those legs out in front of us. We're going to come down onto our backs. And gently down on your back. Let's take a moment to bring those legs gently side to side, noticing the physical sensations where you feel it. I feel it in my low back, sacrum area. Beautiful. Let's take those knees into the chest. Gently hug those knees, maybe rocking a little bit, massaging that lower back. Beautiful. Let's just take the legs and lift them up. I'm not going to move into half shoulder stand right now. We're just going to lift the legs. Feel that just gentle inversion. And as we are able to lift these legs up, we give the veins in our leg a nice little break. So even if we're not in a handstand or a headstand or a half shoulder stand or shoulder stand, we're getting the same benefit. The valves in our legs, those veins, they're getting a nice vacation. You don't need to pump the blood up the legs to the heart. We have our gravity allowing it to just flow. So it's a really good thing to elevate the legs. It prevents any kind of varicose veins. And it's a really good break on the veins. So feeling that nice inversion as we rest here for a few breaths. Breathing into the belly. And let's shake those legs out a little bit. Strong legs that take us everywhere we want to go. And let's relax them down. Our next asana will add some props and stuff, but can do a lot of restorative and gentle poses, holding a little bit longer without any props. I do a lot of practices out in nature where I hike and I don't have props, so I've really learned to do a lot without them, but they're very valuable as well. So we're going to keep this right knee up, the right foot on the floor for the moment, and we're going to take the left leg up and we're going to rest that left ankle just above the right knee. We're going to be moving into our hip opener called, you can call it the four square. Some people call it supta, or a pigeon, supine pigeon. And we're going to lift that right leg up, bring the right leg in towards the body. Bring those hands and clasp them behind the right thigh and gently pulling the right leg into the body. Noticing the sensations. I feel it in my left hip. Notice where you're feeling the sensations. Feel some in the right leg as well. And breathing into that belly, holding this pose a few breaths as you feel that gentle hip opening. Find your edge. Never forcing, challenging yourself and your body just a little bit. You can gently engage that Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, gentle lift and engagement. Lock this prana in that we're building. And one more breath here. And releasing down in the exhale. Beautiful. And we're going to switch legs. So have that left knee up, rest the right ankle just above the left knee, lifting that left leg up, clasping the hands behind the left hamstring, left thigh, and gently pulling that left leg in to feel your gentle edge where you can feel that hip opening, and breathe and relax into this pose. Great hip opener. Noticing the physical sensations. When you notice the physical sensations, it brings you more present in your body, right here, right now. And that's the doorway. To the soul. And one more breath here. And releasing the legs down. Beautiful job. And let's bring this left leg out straight. We're going to come up onto our left side just an inch. Keep these hips and pelvis level and aligned. We're going to bend the right knee and we're going to bring it over towards the left. The left hand is guiding it over. We're going to take the right hand out 90 degrees and turn the head so you're gazing out over the right fingertips. And feel that nice deep knee down twist. And the twist starts in the cervicals, the upper neck, moves down into the thoracic, and then the lumbar. Making sure both shoulder blades are touching the earth. And relax into the pose and breathe. Noticing all the beautiful sensations, physical, energetic. One more breath here. Releasing that leg and coming back to center. And we're going to move over to the other side. So we're going to take that right leg straight out, bend that left leg. Let's first come a little inch onto that right side, almost like we're going to turn and um, rest on that side, but just an inch, and then bending that left knee and using the right hand to guide the left knee over. Keeping both shoulder blades on the floor, reaching that left arm out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over those left fingertips. So we're cleansing the organs. We're bringing energy and vitality into the spine. It's like when we have a washcloth or a hand towel and we wring it, all the water comes out, the toxins come out of our body, releases the toxins in the organs, the spinal column. And relax into this pose and breathe. Noticing the sensations, basking in all those wonderful, beautiful physical sensations. Even the tenderness. One more breath here. And releasing the leg, releasing the arms, and coming back to center. And let's wiggle around just a little bit. And then let's bring those knees into the chest, rocking, releasing, relaxing that lower back. Let's bring those legs up and let's bring them nice and wide and pull those legs in towards the body. Noticing the stretch. And then bending the knees. The soles of the feet are facing the sky. And wrap the hands around the outside edges of the feet. We're in baby. And so baby, we can gently pull those feet down towards the earth. It opens up the hips. Find your gentle edge. Remember to back off if there's any pain. Just find the gentle edge and hold this baby pose for a couple breaths. And then moving in happy baby. So rock around and kind of spontaneous, just like when you were a baby. That's why it's happy baby. Babies find their feet and their legs and they start to move into those legs and they feel the sensations. They realize, I have legs. What are these? So notice the physical sensations as you move in your happy baby. And you stretch your legs and find the perfect movements. Just having fun moving in your body, just like you did as a baby. Every baby does. Discovers their legs. Take time to rediscover your legs anew. These legs, these feet, and all the physical sensation, bringing these legs to life. Beautiful job. Taking a moment to roll around a little longer or move into any other pose or posture that you may have wanted to do or your body's craving. Move into a little Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly, butterfly on my back. Just finding a few more movements, a couple more breaths of movements before we move into our Savasana relaxation. As you get ready for Savasana, sometimes it's nice to put a sweater on and a jacket. It's nice to sometimes have socks on. I didn't bring my socks, but it's nice to get yourself a little cozy and comfortable because you'll just be laying very still for a few minutes, and sometimes the body gets a little colder. If you have an eye pillow, you can use that. If you have something you want to put under your head or under your knees, you can do that. So just to be comfortable, I want to take a sip of the water. And find a comfortable pose on your back in relaxation pose, Savasana pose. If that doesn't work for you, you can do a Sukhasana, a seated pose relaxation. Yeah. Laying down on your back. If possible, legs are open a little, arms are open a little, letting them flop outward, and breathing into that belly. Feeling that earth underneath you, holding your body, protecting, supporting the body. Just acknowledge that support of the earth. Taking a moment to invite the body to completely relax. Front of the body relax. The back of the body. Feeling the right side of the body. Release any tension and settle into a deeper relaxation. And the left side of the body, releasing tension and relaxing. The whole body, 360 degrees. Relaxing, releasing. Letting everything go. We'll relax in silence, letting this practice integrate mind, body, and spirit. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Begin to come back. Gently coming back as you wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and to stretch out the arms and the legs. And rolling over to either side, one side or the other. Noticing as the fluids shift, the energy shifts. Notice all those subtle shifts in the body. Taking a breath or two here on your side. And ready, gently and kindly coming up to a seated position, to our easy pose, Sukhasana. So, getting out here. Beautiful job. So feeling those sits bones on the earth, if you want to have that cushion again, or not, whatever works for you. And closing your eyes and checking in again, diving into the inner being, the physical being, and noticing, scanning the body, noticing the shifts in the body that may have occurred in your practice. Noticing how you're feeling emotionally, physically, energy and prana levels. Noticing what you're feeling. And then bring yourself back to that intention that you set. And again, take a moment to mentally rehearse and adding the emotions like you're right there, right now. See yourself in that scene. And releasing that intention with this or better, this or better, this or better. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll conclude our practice with Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for our Yin Asana practice. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.